Soft dribble, horny dribble, creepy dribble. Good friends never say goodbye, only fare thee well. See you by and by. Good friends never have to call, never have to see. No need to speak at all. You know I trust you with your memories, and I know you trust in mine. Good friends never speak of miles, only of the glow. Then left in good friends' smiles. I'll stand at the foot of the road you've just begun, waving as you shrink in the red of the setting sun. Good friends.
Hi there. I am the biggest Big Finish fan, and I'm so happy that you're going to do all the plays.
I've done them, they're all stacked up, waiting to come out.
I hope we have more for us in store. Can you tell us a little bit maybe what's coming up next?
Well, I've got, there was so many, I've got so many. And it was really interesting because it was only 2 years ago. And that was 16 years since I played the Doctor, but it came back like that. Because the quality of the writing, and that's what, people think, people talk about who's the best Doctor, is it David Tennant, is it, Lisa Capaldi, is it Jodie? It's never about the actor, it's always about the writer. I've noticed whenever I work with a great writer, people say I'm a good actor. Whenever I work with a bad writer, they say I'm a terrible actor. So it's about your script. I base my entire career on working with the best best writers. And Big Finish, they have writers who could easily write for the television series. They're so talented, and it's been such a pleasure. I think in the next batch to come out, the pacifist baked potato that I was telling you about. I think there was an episode, I don't know whether it's been released now, where I went to Macbeth's castle. The Doctor goes to Dulcinea, Macbeth's castle. When I was recording that, I was still playing Macbeth, so I was crossing a timeline there as far as I was concerned. One of the issues with recording big issue audios is I drive the sound recorders mad because I'm, as you're sitting on here, I'm actually sticky like a clock. I'm a very physical actor. And you can't do that because it gets picked up on the microphone. So I do all my Big Finish audios in a straitjacket. You're welcome.
First of all, also thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And I wanted to ask, when I started with Compilation, I also started as a transponder and was right away big fan, like second episode, wow. And
What about the first episode?
I know I like the first episode too, but I never focus on an opinion until I watch the second one.
Ah, do that with your partners. It's a good one. Don't get too impressed with the first one.
And here was the should be careful. No, but afterwards I started reading up a little bit on the history and everything, and I noticed that the whole Ninth Doctor was very, he was written in that time that all this experience from before the war and everything was really in that role, and I liked that a lot, especially afterwards realizing that why he is sometimes like he is. And my question would be, were you informed of those things beforehand, like all the history that came into this role, or did you read up on it, or was there anything like it?
No, it's a brilliant question. Thank you. I think I kind of made my name as an actor playing very intense, troubled, conflicted characters. That's why a lot of people were surprised when I was cast in the role, because they were like, he can't do comedy, he takes himself too seriously, he's too serious, he's too miserable, you know, Eeyore, basically. But I think what the writers did was, what Russell T Davies did was, they looked at what my strengths have been as an actor, which was, you know, he's got post-traumatic stress disorder, hasn't he, the Doctor? So I think they gave me those things because they knew I could do them, but I think also it's about relaunch. They wanted to relaunch the series with grit. In the 80s, when it started to fail, it became, I think, as I understand it, a little too tongue-in-cheek, a little too vague, a little too broad strokes, a little too like a quote-unquote children's show. I think they wanted to reinvent it in reaction to what was going on in the sci-fi world cinema. You know, it was things like Blade Runner had happened. It was much grittier, and they knew I could do that. What I was concerned about was whether I could do a lighter stuff. And I think over the 13 episodes I've learned to do it, but I think at times my performance, when it was comedic, was too broad strokes. But I famously went after the role because I was running, I was thinking, Russell T Davies, who I've just worked with on second film, is going to do Doctor Who. Why is he doing that? Time Lord. What does Time Lord mean? Oh, he's falling through time. He's always alone. He's lonely. And I thought, I can play loneliness. So that was my way in, was his loneliness and his damage. And then what I had to learn to do was his joyfulness. You know?
Which I don't think you overbrought.
That's a good question. I'm a fan of gadgets and things. I love stuff. I don't know how it works. But, you know, it's fun to play. Whenever you see me at Mission Impossible, like, busy, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just sort of like, and trying to look like I know what I'm doing. So I'm a fan of it from afar, but not, you know, I don't have any expertise in that.
Thank you.
I apologize.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You played Huey's dad in The Boys, and you voice Huey in The Boys Diabolical. Sadly, neither of those characters has any of the beautifully fucked up superpowers of that universe. So, if you could choose, what fucked up superpower would you like?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. I think I'd quite like to be like Mr. Fantastic, you know, stretchy, because that's so fucked up. And no one ever really talks about why it's fucked up, but we all know why it's fucked up. So, maybe Mr. Fun. I'm not saying I need to be, I'm just saying it would be fun. Hi.
I was wondering, during the period of the banana trilogy, how hard was it to find funding and how to celebrate at each premiere of those films? How did you experience that period?
We celebrated with Cornettos, obviously, which is well, Shaun of the Dead was the hardest film to get made, just because Edgar Wright and myself weren't really known in the film industry. We'd done a TV show called Space, and that had been popular, I think, for that one person. And so we took it around to different film companies, Film 4, but then Film 4 went bankrupt, and they gave it us back, and eventually Working Title picked it up. Once Shaun of the Dead sort of happened and had a good life at the cinema, and then and did well in America, then they were more inclined to give us some money. So the budget for Hot Fuzz was, you know, I think the budget for Shaun was like £4 million, and then the Hot Fuzz was like £8 million, it was 10 million. And then by the time we did The World's End, we were kind of flying. So it was just a question of trying to get a reputation in the film industry.
The experience for Hot Fuzz was bloody awesome.
I kind of remember that. Amsterdam? Yeah, I know. I just remember getting on a flight. I remember getting on a KLM flight to New York after that, and Nick Frost and Edgar Wright was so stoned. I had to kind of shepherd them through security because they were just like walking around and like this sort of just, obviously, you know, gotta love it.
Thank you very much.
You put my bed.